Hey Leos, welcome in. This is your reading for November. So we're going to pull out some of your oracle cards and then we will work on your tarot. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is it seems a very ordered November for you. Everything's in their own, you know, it's like the ducks have lined up for you. Everything's kind of organized, kind of. Um, your Moonology cards are saying, show the world the real you. Take time to breathe out. You are calling in your soulmate. Your prayers and affirmations and visualizations help you bring you closer together. And reconciliation. Someone for your past is returning to your life. So that's important for you to hear. Um, this is interesting that this is happening the same time for you, that you're calling in your soulmate and reconciliation. It can be your universe testing you. Like the universe tests whether we're ready for something that we want. So do you realize if someone comes back that you might have pushed away, that has been your ex, if you don't really want them back, make sure to let them know, because most of the time the universe is like, well, do you want this or not? Do you actually want a new person? So it kind of tests us until it's like, well, actually, you seem pretty adamant that you don't want this person. If you want to reconcile, then you're actually pulling this person closer to you. So do you realize if there's anyone specific in mind for you, Leo, that you really wanted that was in the past for you, this is going to happen. So your Moonology is interesting because it's like, show the world the real you and time to breathe out. Take time to breathe out. So it's kind of like you've been holding on to a lot of not showing the real self. And it can be that you're quite worried right now how people would respond if you're actually uh don't try to impress them, or like, as I feel like some Leos are going to come towards me and go, I never try and impress anyone, it's just the way I am. Okay, like, you do sometimes gloss over yourself, and you can be quite um you could go with the flow with this, and I think this is interesting because I think that it is time to really be in your element, being in yourself this November, instead of being very focused or very specific on what other people may want from you. Take time to just breathe out and relax and just work on, like, how you feel. There is a feeling of getting out of a little bit of mental struggle. There was a little bit of struggling with yourself, and this is easing. So this is actually another sign that you're kind of getting in to the energy of November and relaxing, taking time for yourself instead of really focusing on everything external. You're just like really focusing on how you feel, how you breathe, how you move. Wheel of Fortune here is trust the universe. Trust the universe that you're going the way that you're going. This is actually the universe's way of like trust that you're going the right way. Trust that I'm taking you the right direction. Don't get too bogged up with how things are raveling at this moment, you know, like some things are unfolding for you that you might be like, well, you know, actually, I don't particularly want this right now. And this is okay because this is bringing other things in for you. If you get focused on one thing that you don't like, you know, you're going to kind of stop these things and you're going to be like, well, you know, I really don't want this. Like a lot of things that end up being for the better good or the better good of ourselves, we just need to see that. And sometimes, like, do you realize that I'm not telling you if something's really bad, yeah, you know, change it, you know. Don't sit in a situation because you're like, you know, I've got to trust the universe on everything. You are very intelligent, Leo. So you know, I'll trust you to know when something's definitely a nope. You know, but yeah, the Justice upright and this 8 of Swords. I definitely feel like you're starting to realize to trust yourself a little bit more instead of really focusing on what other people say about you or to you, and you're like, they don't know me at all, you know. You're actually really trusting yourself. This November there is a heightened awareness, especially around creativity for you, and you are able to create a lot more in your general life. So do realize that this is working more with your creativity. You might be scared of making more mess because the creativity um, tends to move you around. So don't realize. Do realize that I said don't realize it, then I was like, wait, that's actually not what I want to say. Do realize that sometimes with our creativity, we can make a mess of things. we we can be a little bit more like not so great with our environment. There's some things that we might need to declutter from our environment, but in general, I feel like you shouldn't always want something to be neat and tidy and clean, because there seems to be that kind of off put where you're like, oh well, what if I make too much a mess, you know? Um, and these things don't tend to then resolve themselves. Like I'll be living in a mess, or you know, these things. Maybe this is not physical mess, but there's kind of like this messy kind of attitude. And you should allow the mess to naturally kind of come in so you can actually focus more on your creativity than focus on your order, you know? Like you might be very very focused on the order right now, and you should be focused more on not disorder, but you know, focus on the things that you have, not the things that you can't do much about. The like clean up the mess in December, focus on the creativity in November for you. So this is your November reading for you, Leo. I hope this helped you very much. Do comment down below what has resonated with you, and I will hopefully bring another reading out for you in December. Bye bye, guys.